9, you're in the team with Jericho, you guys are tag team champions, and then you get injured, so you end up away, and then you come back and you win the Royal Rumble in 2010. And this is the first time in a while that you've been a babyface, a good guy, and I get that ends up being the last just over a year of your career. Did you at that point think, now it's time for me to turn? And do you look back on that now and think, yeah, that was the time for me to then change character and become that?
Initially, no, it wasn't time, but our hand was kind of forced because Jericho and I were supposed to team for a while. And again, it was kind of one of those instances like Rated RKO, in that you had these two top heels, nothing really to do, and you had DX coming back. So the whole idea for Edge and Jericho was what eventually ended up happening with Jericho and Show, just with Big Show in my part. Obviously it works out way different because I'm not just one-punching people for finishes or anything like that, but that was the idea, was that we would run with DX, do a TLC match with them, and then eventually split up and get to where we got to. You know, I tore my Achilles, and that just kind of changed everything. And they were like, well, when you come back, you're probably going to be a babyface. And so I thought, okay, now at this point, I think I'm 35 years old. A torn Achilles at 35 years old, that can be the end of your career. So, and the doctor told me as much. And he said, it's probably going to be about 9 to 12 months, or you're done. I was like, wow, okay. When's the Rumble? 6 months. Cool, I'll be back at the Rumble. and I was. And they said, you know, if you can get back for the Rumble, we'll go with Edge winning the Rumble and you and Jericho for the title at WrestleMania. So that was even more incentive to get back, because at that point, the last thing to do was win the Royal Rumble. And so, you know, that whole time, you know, I was running backwards up my driveway, which is 11 stories, and I was like wind sprinting in sea salt pools underwater and trying to like get this thing back. And it was to really just get back for that Rumble and be involved in it, and also to just go, okay, that was the last thing from it's entertainment, don't get me wrong, but still, if you look at your resume and go, okay, what's the last thing I haven't done? Royal Rumble, damn it, I gotta try to win that.
And your last match ended up being with Alberto Del Rio at WrestleMania 27, but a match that people talk about more than that is the stuff that you did with Dolph Ziggler at the beginning of 2011. Why do you think that's one that people still talk about, and like, are your memories fond of the stuff that you guys did together?
Yeah, at that point, I was traveling with Dolph, because Dolph really wanted to pick my brain, and he wanted to pick Jay's brain, and really just see why we thought this, or why we did this way, and he was a sponge. And they had asked me before Del Rio who I wanted to work, like who I looked at on the roster and I wanted to work, and it was Dolph and it was Drew. And I got a little bit of an opportunity to work Drew, but it didn't go where we had hoped it would go. And again, they kept asking me. I was like, I want to work Dolph. Yeah, but maybe. I was like, no, I want to work Dolph. Yeah, but maybe. I was like, I want to work Dolph. If you're asking me who I want to work, I want to work Dolph, and I want to do it for the heavyweight title. Just let us do our thing. And at that point in my career, I also I knew part of my job was to teach, and to take guys like Dolph and try and show them some things, just like Sean showed me, and just like guys throughout the years showed me. And we were able to get in there at the Rumble and have the kind of match that I knew he could have, and I hope that would illustrate to the powers that be and the creative that you got a guy here that you can use going forward for the next 15 years, who's uber athletic, completely giving in there, almost to a fault at times. And I had a blast. You know, we really, really enjoyed working with Dolph, and I'm glad to see what he's doing again now, because I feel like he's one of those talents that has kind of been, wasted's not the right word, but he can do more than he's been given a lot of the time.
I just want a year off. I need to just rest. I knew it's coming because the person you sent to try to look over us, I think is an idiot. And I'm telling him to his face that he's an idiot over and over again. And he can't have that. And I understood that. I understood that because nobody knew when Triple H, if he was ever going to come back. And I didn't know. So I was it's total makes business sense to take me out of the equation because everybody there didn't matter what happened, they still come to me.